they'll put it on like another like a different camera.
No, it's on all the cameras. Putting people information. Ensure the flight parking lot is open for parking. No,
Looks like looks like it's obvious too. Who is that?
yes, 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 ma'am.
Wait, did I just hear a voice over the speaker?
So sweet.
I'll be back. I'll be back here if y'all need me.
That way, that way. Each side is 6:30. Both is 6:30. So, what you look for? Picture. Are there any more people from for your department coming?
They're supposed to be coming. Yeah.
What time?
I was supposed to be there.
So they supposed to be there.
Okay, so back the other way. Oh, my bad.
Go ahead. Oh, you want me to get off?
Okay, Jose, I was just about to call you. That's where you're supposed to be. Sean.
Sean.
This is for the cool.
Miss Dottie dancing on the stage.
Good evening. Good evening. Oh, I am facing the right way. Okay. How's everyone? Are you all asleep? I don't hear anybody. That's better. Okay, hey, let's do a quick roll call. Is Deaf Elementary here? Blind Elementary? Deaf Middle School? Blind Department Middle School? Deaf High School? Blind Department High School. Okay. Wow. You know how you go to church and preachers say, I ain't going to keep you here long. But they keep you here long? We're not going to be here long tonight, but we're going to have some fun. I'm so excited to welcome you to our Black History Program 2020. Oh. And we don't have a long list, so we don't have the quantity, but we've got quality in our talent tonight. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. and get our students up here that's ready to perform for you. But the first thing we're going to do is our national anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. And I think, are the words up there, Maestro Scott? But if they're not, if we can turn the house lights off, because the words are on the back of your program if you have one.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Only the
See, we only sing one voice. We know that one verse. We get lost when we get into verse 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first performer tonight, I get so excited when I see this young man performs, and he's going to start us off with an inspirational, been here since 7:30 this morning, inspirational song, Willie Noble.
Hi, my name is Willie Noble, and I want to inspire you all with this
If
song.
home is really where the heart is, then home must be a place we all can share. For even with our differences, our hearts are much the same. For where love is, we come together there. Wherever there is laughter ringing, someone smiling, someone dreaming, we can live together there. Love will be our home. Wherever there are children singing, where a tender heart is beating, we can live
Thank you, Willie and Chris. It's always exciting to see those brothers perform together. You know how we do Black history here. We have a little trivia, we have a little listen and learn. And our first listen and learn is going to be someone that was born in St. Augustine. Those of us that work here, we live here, when we have functions, we have parties, we have weddings, receptions, we have them at the Willie Gallimore Center. It's about 10 miles from our school. And the Willie Gallimore Center is, am I show the first picture? He was nicknamed the Wisp. He was born March 30th, 1935, here in St. Augustine, Florida. He was the first Black football player from St. Augustine to go to the pros and played for the Chicago Bears from 1957 to 1963. He attended Florida A&M University. Are there any Rattlers in the house? Any Rattler families in the house? Oh, somebody needs to bleed some orange and green in here. Okay. Mr. Gallimore worked for the legendary coach, Jake Gaither. He was a member of the College Football Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, he died a couple of weeks after he visited his hometown here in St. Augustine. And while he was here, he participated in the St. Augustine movement, or the Civil Rights Movement, becoming the first Black person to be able to register as a guest at the previously all-white Ponce de Leon Motor Lodge. Ironically, his 72-year-old mother, the governor of Massachusetts, was trying to be served in that racially integrated group that made the national headlines a few months before. For those of you that don't know the St. Augustine history, that was where the acid was poured in the pool, if I'm not mistaken. So Mr. Gallimore's civil rights activist is honored with a Freedom Trail marker at his home, 57 Chapin Street in St. Augustine, what we refer to as West Side. There you go. And his widow, Mrs. Audrey Gallimore, took part in the dedication of that marker July 2nd, 2007. Our first trivia. He has a son, Ron Gallimore, who was the first Black U.S. Olympic what? Remember, trivia winners get a Subway card. Throw something out there. What's going on at the Olympics? What? No, not runner. Nope. I'll give you a hint. A girl sport. Who said gymnast? Okay. You trivia yeller outers, we can't see you. But, staff, would you help me? Because I have a sheet I need to write their names on so I can make sure they get their Subway cards. Yes, his son, Ron Gallimore, was the first Black United States gymnast in the Olympics. That is our first Live and Learn trivia of the evening. Now, you've heard of Ray Charles. You've heard of Charlie Pride. You heard of Darius Rucker. What do those three men have in common? Country singers. Black country singers at that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to the song stylings of Mr. Christian as he sings Rocking Chair. Here I come. Where's your cane?
Here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Are y'all ready for some country? I don't think y'all ready for country. Say country. Say George Jones. Are y'all ready for rocking chair? Let's do this. If you know this song, sing along with me. Clap those hands, guys. I don't need your rocking chair, or your Geritol, or your Medicare. I still got neon in my veins. This gray hair don't mean a thing. I do my rocking on the stage. You can't put this possum in a cage. My body's old but it ain't impaired. I don't need your rocking chair. I ain't ready for the junkyard yet, 'cause I still feel like a new Corvette. It might take a little longer, but I'll get there. Well, I don't need your rocking chair. I don't need your rocking chair, your Geritol or your Medicare. I still got neon in my veins. This gray hair don't mean a thing. I do my rocking on the stage. Can't put this possum in a cage. My body's old, but it ain't impaired. Well, I don't need this rocking chair. Retirement, got it. Retirement don't fit in my plans. You can take your seat, I'm gonna stand. An Eskimo needs a Frigidaire. Like I need your rocking chair. I don't need your rocking chair. Your Geritol or your Medicare. I still got neon in my veins. In his veins. This gray hair don't mean a thing. This gray hair don't mean a thing. I do my rocking on the stage. You can't put this possum in a cage. My body's old, but it ain't impaired. Well, you know he ain't impaired. Well, I don't need your rocking chair. You don't need no rocking chair. My body's old, but it ain't impaired. Oh, no, you ain't impaired. I don't need your rocking chair. Aha.
Thank you, Christian. Zalia, are you here? And come on up, sweetie. And Sean. Okay. House lights, our first trivia. She said, if you hear the dogs, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, keep going. If they're shouting after you, keep going. Don't ever stop, keep going. If you want a taste of freedom, keep going. Okay, y'all gonna have to help me. I heard it over here. I heard you. You're right. It was Harriet Tubman. I just need a name. Who said it? Who did? Rayshawn? Oh, Trayshawn. It's amazing how young people think their thoughts about certain things. And now I'm happy to bring up a young man that has some very inspirational thoughts. His self-speech is called An Appreciation. Jose?
Good evening. My name is Jose. And I have written a speech for all of you guys that I hope you guys will like. In 1776, the US was made. Made with slaves. More specifically, black slaves. And it took 189 years till 1965 for all men and women to have all rights. And if you ask me, that's a pretty long time. Black people have suffered for centuries, and it just amazes me, even though they have suffered for so long, they're like so happy. They're so cheerful, and every time I see them, they're always dancing, singing, and they're so happy. And that amazes me. And that there has been so many people that have affected our society that we live in today. I mean, look at Will Smith, John Legend, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr. All of those people have impacted our society that we live in today by acting, singing, or the civil rights movement. Over there in Honduras, where I come from, there's this tribe called Garifunas. It was a tribe that was left in the beaches of Honduras by the Spanish when Spain banned slavery in the late 1500s. And they have stayed there for centuries, and they still live there today. The Spanish promised them to come back, but they never did. And they're obviously not coming back anytime soon. And those people have taught me to appreciate the black community so much with their dances and their delicious food. Some really good food, too. My appreciation for African American people, or just black people in general, is really strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. When our young people speak, sometimes we need to sit down and listen. Yeah, because when I heard this last night, I thought, whoa, I never thought about it. Some information I didn't know, but for him to come and ask if he could express his feelings, so grateful. Thank you so much, Jose. Okay. Another trivia. I think we need the house lights on because I can't see. Okay, we're not going to put that picture up yet. Starting shortly after the American Civil War, George Pullman sought out former slaves to work for him. They were hired to work in what area as what? Pullman is a key word. Who said that? Thomas, you are right. The Pullman sleeper cars. Photo?
That was Jonathan, was my bad.
Oh, okay. Jonathan, is that right? Yes. Okay. I'll remember your name. Next slide. There they are. Mr. Pullman thought that the rich people that were on the train, on the sleeper cars, and they needed their own butler, so to speak, and those are the Pullman porters. The symbol to the right of that picture, it's directional here, that's the symbol, that's my symbol, my fraternal symbol. It is the IBPOE of W, the Improved Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks of the world. I am the state directress of the Beauty and Talent, so when I finish this pageant at school, I go down south and I direct a state pageant. I am so proud. The next slide you'll see is the reigning Miss Florida, our own Jamira Harris. She couldn't be here tonight because they're on a track meet. Let me tell you a little bit about Jamira. She performed a lyrical dance at the state competition. She went on, which earned her the right to compete with 14 other young ladies in New Orleans. She had a wonderful experience, was very well received by the other contestant, and is the first sensory impaired contestant that the Elks organization has had since 1952. So proud of Jamira. And yes, I got to chaperone her, so I got a free trip to New Orleans. Now, this next young lady, we're gonna keep fingers crossed because I think she is going to compete for the title of Miss Florida Elk 2020, and she wins that title. She will compete, what did I say, Zalia? Baltimore, Maryland. So let's listen to Miss Zalia as she gives her rendition of Beyonce's I Was Here, which ironically is the song that Jamira did her lyrical dance. Miss Zalia.
My footprints on the sand of time, and there was something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I leave no regrets. There's something to remember, so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone can know I was here. I wanna say I leave each day until I die, and there was something in someone's life, somebody's life. The hearts I have touched will be the proof that I live, that I made a difference in this world. We'll see I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone can know I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I
don't care. She gets my vote. That's all I'm going to say. Trivia, real quick one. We're getting ready to learn about the young man, Malcolm X. No adults, only kids. His real name is A, Malcolm Lee, B, Malcolm Leitner, or C, Malcolm Little. Tyler? Okay. Tyler, you're all right. And that was, if I'm remember, was that Jonathan over there that answered the last question correctly? Sean is going to come up and give us a little more information about Malcolm Little, better known as Malcolm X.
In 1925, Malcolm was the son of James Earl Little. Then his father was a slave and had a tough life. Then in 1937, he broke free from slavery. And then when Malcolm was in high school, he decided to drop out. And then he moved to Boston. It was interesting. He was involved in different things. He was a supporter. Age 21, Malcolm was sent to state prison for burglary. And then he met Elijah Muhammad. He was a leader of the Nation of Islam. And he was a supporter, an advocate. And people was thinking of him like the devil. And then he decided to take his African name back by adding X to his name. Six years later, when Malcolm was released from prison, he decided that he wanted to be a leader and to support Martin Luther King. And then in the early 1960s, he realized that people could socialize with each other, and he was willing to announce that we could be together. And then unfortunately he was murdered. Many people didn't realize how honored and respected this man was. In 1964, he was highly respected because he was an amazing guy. He participated in so many activities, and he was a wonderful African American. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. You all have been sitting down a little too long. Everybody stand up, let's stretch a little bit. May we have the house lights on? Is Mr. Mack in here? Mr. Mack is not in here. Is Ms. Kamaye in here? I need you for a minute. Is there a staff from the boys' dorm here? Boys' high school dorm? Mr. Baker? Mr. Baker, can you come up? On stage, sweetie. Where Mr. Baker? He's where? Oh, he up there. Okay. What you asking of him, Miss Kamaya? Why you okay? Hey, we gonna see. Kids, this gonna be good. Ain't no game, ain't no game, no game, no game. Come on up, Mr. Baker. Okay, Miss Kamaya over here. No, Mr. Baker over there. We're gonna have a dance off and see. We're gonna see boys dorm, girls dorm.
We got boys doing
Go Baker, go Baker.
the two-step right now. He's doing the robot right now. That look like a little robot, and he's breaking it down. Oh yeah, he's breaking it down, guys. He's representing the boys dorm.
Oh, he's coming to get him.
All right,
Okay.
him and they're doing the bump.
What's this dance called, y'all?
Hip to hip, that's called the bump.
That's old school.
Girls dorm doing a little something, something. I don't know what you're doing.
See, you all didn't know your staff can do this, right? Thank you. You know what? For them being such good sports, they're going to get Subway gift cards, too. Thank y'all. Love y'all. We just needed a little fun. Okay. Since I'm giving out Subway gift cards, riddle me this. I'm 95 years young. I've starred in many movies. My favorite song is Blessed Assurance. In my last movie, I asked our generation, is this what we fought for? And I told them, take your place now. Who am I? I heard two, and both of you, Subway gift cards. What are your names? Alex and Jose. Now look at Miss Tyson. Does she look 95? No. I want to look like that when I'm 95. Okay. Now, I could throw this trivia in. And that movie where she said, take your place now, you young men, take your place. You young ladies, take your place. There was another famous actress who starred with her as the voice of reason. What's her name? Okay, I heard it over here. You gotta let me know. Chris is gonna come up and he is going to recite one of Maya Angelou's poems, The Caged Bird. Chris.
Good evening. I need y'all to say that again. Good evening. Y'all ready for the weekend? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling. And I wanted to introduce you to the poem, then I go ahead and start the poem. It's one of my most favorite poems. This is what I live by. My Angelou poem, Cage Bird, published in 1983, is a celebration of African American resilience and dignity, employing a simple metaphor of birds. Angelou powerfully evoked the pain and the rage of one who is oppressed by contrasting with carefree and willful ignorance of one who is free. Y'all ready for the poem? That was quiet. Are y'all ready for the poem? Thank you, thank you. All right, Cage Bird by Maya Angelou. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream until the current ends. Dips his wings in the orange sun ray and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rays. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he's opened his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but longs for steel, and his tune is heard on a distant hill. For the cage bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade wind saw through the silent trees. And the fat warm ones waiting on that dawn bright lawn, and he named the sky his own. But a cage bird stands on the gray of dreams, his shadow shout on the nightmare scheme. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he's opened his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but longs for steel, and his tune is heard on a distant hill. For that cage bird sings of his freedom. This poem describes the opposite experience between two birds. One bird that represents is able to live in nature as it pleases the nature, while a different cage bird suffers in captivity. Due to its profound suffering, the cage bird sings, but both to cope with its circumstances and to express its own longing for freedom. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Middle school. Middle school students, where are you? They just left? Okay. That middle school group, the next trivia question. I was born and raised in Chicago, and my middle name is Lavon. Who am I? Doom, 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 doom. What did you say? No, my middle name is Lavon. Lavon, not LeBron, Lavon. Chicago. Michelle Lavon Obama, born and raised in Chicago. Who said that? Come see me after the program. Okay. Where am I? Where am I? Are we having a good time? Are you enjoying this? Okay. It's another one. What is the Christmas celebration for African Americans called? Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa. You all are going to have to remember to come see me, seriously. Okay. Do we know what the 7 principles are? Markeith, are you here? Where's Mr. Markeith? You gotta dance first. You know that, right? You have to dance.
Please, Mr. Groove, won't you come back home? Won't you come back? Please, won't you come back? Won't you come back? Please, won't you come back?
Come on.
Please.
Come on. I want you to help me with this. The first principle, umoja, means unity.
Joining together as a family, community, and race.
Second principle, kujichagolia. Kujichagolia. It sounds better when you say it again. Self-determination.
Responsibility for one's own future.
Third principle, ujima. Collective work and responsibility.
Building the community together and solving any problem as a group.
Fourth, Ujama, cooperative economics.
Which one? The community building and profiting from its own business.
Nia, purpose.
The goal of working together, building community, and further the African culture.
Number 6, Kuumba, creativity.
Using new ideas to create a more beautiful and success community.
The last principle, Imani, or faith.
Honoring honoring African ancestors, tradition, and leader, and celebrating past triumph over adverse.
Okay. Period. Are you familiar with the Kwanzaa principles? It's a reason that I chose to spotlight Kwanzaa tonight. It dawned on me that here on this campus, we practice all 7 of those principles. Give yourselves a hand, because you all make it possible. And next, wow, what's the name of our program tonight? The name of our program, our theme, I'm sorry, it's on their program. Hidden Figures. I want to make that a trivia question. Okay. I'd like to take this time to honor someone we just recently learned about, Miss Katherine Johnson. Miss Katherine Johnson was an American mathematician. She's also known as Catherine Goebel, a physicist whose calculations of orbital mechanics as a NASA employee were critical to the success of the first and subsequent U.S. crewed space flights. She was born August 26, 1918. She passed away very recently, February 24, 2020, in Newport News, Virginia. She lost her husband, James Francis Goebel, in 1956. Her children, Constance Goebel, Joylette Goebel, and Catherine Goebel, survive her. Her education was from West Virginia State University in 1937 and West Virginia University. She received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Congressional Gold Medal. Ms. Katherine Johnson, we honor you. And most recently, the movie, our theme, Hidden Figures, was in Ms. Katherine's honor. And I was in Virginia before she passed away. I wish I'd had an opportunity to meet such an amazing woman. That movie, Hidden Figures, starred who as Miss Kathleen? Taraji P. Henson. Absolutely. Yes. So guess what, people? By your program, does that bring us to the end of our Black History Program 2020? I'm going to have you young people on stage to have a seat in the audience. Thank you so much, Christian, Jose, and Zalia, for your contributions tonight. Whew. Thank you, Miss Danielle, Miss Sarah, Miss Rena for interpreting. Thank you, Scott, and his team of students. So you all do know that all I do is put this together on paper, and the rest is up to you. I'm just catching my breath. I'm getting my nerve up. It ended all too quickly. So we're going to end this like we usually end this. And it gets harder every year for me to find a song that's fitting for my students and my staff. So I'm going to go back to an old basic. And tonight, not yet, tonight, Miss Dottie is going to do Dorothy. Let's do this. Let's wobble on out of here, y'all.
All the shorties in the club, let me see you just back it up, drop it down, let me see you just get low, scrub the ground, let me see you just push it up, let me see you just
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Get in now, yeah, yeah. Get in now, yeah, yeah. Get in now, yeah, yeah. Get in now, yeah, yeah.
Hey, big girl, make 'em bag it up, make 'em bag it up. Hey, big girl, make 'em bag it up, make 'em bag it up. Hey, big girl, make 'em bag it up, make 'em bag it up. Hey, big girl, make 'em bag it up, make 'em bag it up, bag it up.
I got them shaking they booties like Congo, man. I'm shaking the city like Quake. The haters blue in the face like Gonzo, cause I'm breaking the cake, so let's bake. I'm taking the game's mine. Y'all witness the change, it's my time. Yeah, I'm new to the game, but y'all might wanna say you whack raps, daylight saving time. I can dance, homie, on two-step. Y'all looking at something like a true player. A girl told me that a man that can dance might could possibly get down with the tool in his pants. Now I'm a ladies, let me see it vibrate. And when it's over, you ain't gon' need your bird. Cause I'm a pro, make you bend your back low, then the pound of real fast, just like the percolate.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble.